Hi, I'm Ewan from Ewan-Me, and I'm here at the airport. I'm going to do an interview with the Dropkick Murphys now and ask them my questions. Let's see what they answer. I'm definitely looking forward to it. How about you? Hi, I'm Ewan from Ewan-Me, and I'm here in, the airport hall with Al.
Hey, how's it going, man? How are you?
How are you?
I'm good, man. I'm good, yeah.
So, tell us a little bit about yourself. Who are you?
Well, I'm Al Barr. I am a husband, father of 3, and I also sing for a band called Dropkick Murphys for the last 20 years.
Right, cool. So, playing on an airport, wow, that's pretty cool. Have you ever played on an airport?
Actually, we have. We've played inside of airports. We've played outside of airports. So yeah, we've pretty much played everywhere you can imagine, except for under the ocean.
Okay.
But yeah, we've pretty much I mean, we just played a construction site 2 weeks ago. So yeah, we've pretty much played everywhere.
Would the construction site be one of the weirdest or craziest places, or what would you call the craziest place?
I think the craziest place that I ever played. I mean, I've been playing in bands for 35 years. So the craziest place I probably played was when I was on tour in '97 in Germany with my old band, the Bruisers, and on the day sheet it said Knast. And I said, "Oh, isn't that cute? They're calling it prison. It's funny." And then we rolled into this East German prison, and it was an old, defunct. It was no longer a prison, but there was 6 guys pushing open the gates, and then there were all the people were drinking at 10 in the morning across the park, and I thought, "Oh man, we play at 10 tonight." And then they came in, and they were the meanest looking people you've ever seen, and then the power went out, and it was crazy, and there were lots of fights, and there was a guy who looked like he was going to kill me all night long, but I think he was too drunk to move, luckily. But yeah. I mean, we've played all kinds of crazy shows, though. I mean, too many to remember.
Wow. And when I listen to your songs, I really get an energetic push from it. I love it. I think your songs and your music, what you do, is really great.
Well, thank you.
How do you get that energy into the songs, into the music?
Well, I mean, I think, music has always been a passion of mine. It's a passion of everybody in the bands. I mean, I think that when we get out on that stage, especially when we get out on that stage, we make this connection with the audience, you know what I mean? And it's like that connection is kind of what kind of lifts us all up, you know what I mean? And it's about, we always kind of go out on stage with the take no prisoners, and if you're going to die on stage attitude, you know what I mean? So that's just the way we look at it.
That's important as well. Cool. And was punk rock always a thing for you? Did you always want to bring your message across through punk rock? Or?
Yeah, I mean, I discovered punk rock when I was 14 years old, and I started singing in bands when I was 15. So it was always something. I mean, since I was a little kid, I always wanted to be a singer, you know what I mean? I was in chorus and concert choir, and then I got picked out of 5 little kids to sing in all city choir with big kids, and so I always wanted to be a singer in a band. And then I discovered punk rock, and punk rock was something that was, to me, it was I felt like it was looking back on it now, it really was the folk of then, you know what I mean? Folk music is, music by the people, for the people. Anybody can pick up a guitar and do it and get an audience, and that was kind of the punk ethos, you know what I mean? We were singing about stuff that pissed us off. We were kids, whether it was the guys that picked on us, or, maybe the bully policeman in the town, or, whatever it may be, or, whatever the government was doing that affected my 15-year-old self at the time, you know what I mean? It was always a passion, you know what I mean? It was always a way. I felt like it connected people on a certain level. Like back when I started in punk rock, when you saw other people on the street that were into punk rock, there were so few of us. You'd always stop and get to know people. So it was a great way of making connections. I mean, I would come back from shows in Boston with matchbooks and scraps of paper with people's phone numbers that I made friends with at shows, and some of those people are friends of mine today. So you know what I mean, still. So it's an amazing family, punk rock, for sure. Yeah.
It's full of life, and that's the important thing, I guess.
Absolutely,
yeah.
absolutely.
In Scotland, we have this company called Barr. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You'd know it, yeah.
I do.
What do you think about Iron Brew?
It's you know what? It's the best, of course. It's the best soda you can ever drink. But But no, it's got our family name on it. It was, it's just so funny. I always joke, I tried to go on the factory lot and claim some royalties, but they said get out of here. But yeah, no. But yeah, that's our claim to fame. We got our own soda.
That's nice. Cool. One more thing about your kind of history in Scotland and so on. When I was young, I had a problem with myself. I didn't know what I belonged to, more or less. Yeah. What do you call? What would you think you belong to?
Well, I mean, I consider myself I'm an American, but I'm German. I have roots in Germany and Scotland. You know what I mean? So I'm a Scottish kraut. And, that's what I always say. I always say I'm a Scottish kraut. I'm the non-Irishman in the band. I'm the non-Bostonian in the band. But when I joined the band, it was funny, so many people were like, oh, but he's not Irish. It's like, yeah, but my dad's Scottish, and that side of the family comes from Scotland. Scotland and Ireland aren't so different. And they always said that's close enough. But the thing is we're an American band, and we were never trying to be an Irish band. You know what I mean? We were never trying. That was never our intention. And that was something when we first played Dublin in '99. I remember the first interviews that I did were very contentious. The people were just like, what do you think you are? You think you're Irish? You're trying to... It's like, no. Hold on a minute. We're not trying to rob your culture or anything. All we are is influenced by... we're a punk rock band that's influenced by outside of punk rock, and that outside influence is folk music, Irish folk music, American folk music, you know what I mean? So, and again, that brings me back to what I said earlier, folk music was a punk rock, you know what I mean? Because it was music for the people, by the people, and a lot of the subject matter that's covered in folk music, especially if you go back to the 60s and 70s, were political. You know what I mean? And we're anti-establishment and talking about change through people and being against war, being against, whatever was going on at the time. You know what I mean? So to me, that was kind of predating punk rock,
Well, I think that's what I'll do then as well. I'll call myself a Scottish kraut as well. It's cool. Thanks.
Yeah,
Thank you very much for the interview.
Okay.
It's great.
You got it, man.
Thank you.
Appreciate
Thanks.
it. All right.
Cool. Thanks. Yeah.
Yeah.
Picture would be great. Yeah.